Puget Sound area, you can spot a new construction crane. Many of the projects under construction now are going to have a major impact in the future. With more, please welcome Emily Parkhurst from the Puget Sound Business Journal. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so you've come up with a list of things we need to know about. How did you compile the list?
You know, it's interesting. The Business Journal is covering these kinds of projects all the time. And, you know, it's easy to kind of get caught up in one project as it's happening. But we thought we'd take a step back and just look at just the incredible change that this region is experiencing right now and try and give people a sense of the big projects that are really going to be something that we're still talking about 10, 15 years from now.
A little bit from altitude and out into the future.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the Sound Transit's new light rail line between Seattle and Bellevue.
You know, we picked this one out in particular. Obviously, Sound Transit has a lot going on right now.
It does.
But this particular project, the fact that it's going to make a trip between downtown Seattle and downtown Bellevue 15 minutes, I think is a game changer for this region.
It's brilliant.
Especially, you know, today, everybody's stuck in traffic, everybody's frustrated. To be able to get between the two cities in 15 minutes is a game changer, not just for the business community, but for everybody in the region.
Right, because it gets cars off the road and that whole thing.
Exactly.
What is our target date for that to actually be real?
You know, that's a good question. I think
Details.
I think that what they are aiming for is 2023. It'll actually be up and running. Sometimes those timetables get pushed around depending on construction.
The Spring District in Bellevue.
So speaking of, you know, light rail, the expansion of the light rail has allowed the Spring District to really spring up.
And where is it?
And then this is over in Bellevue. It's in an area that was previously just warehouses.
Where the Pepsi place was, or the Coke place, or whatever.
Exactly. There was not much out there. This is suddenly going to be a neighborhood. There's going to be places for people to live. REI's headquarters is going to be there, and there's going to be a University of Washington higher education facility there for tech training for master's programs. So there's going to be all kinds of people suddenly in this area that just didn't exist before.
On the east side of
On the east side.
425. Okay. So the Highway 99 tunnel in Seattle, tell us all about that.
Well,
exciting tunnel.
I think a lot of people are familiar with the Bertha project, maybe
yes.
not necessarily for good reasons, but now that this project is kind of coming closer to completion, we still have a little while before it's done, but this is going to allow the viaduct to come down, and I think that that is the big game changer here. Not only does it open up the waterfront, it connects downtown to the waterfront. It's going to really change the way that the downtown area lives and the new projects that can go up, the new buildings that can go up there.
I think that's going to make the waterfront just all the more wonderful. The Lincoln Square expansion in Bellevue. How much more can they expand Lincoln Square is my question.
That's a good question. You know, they've spent $1 billion expanding what you see now. There's some new hotel projects over there that are going to allow for, you know, some more conventions and things like that that Bellevue has not been able to take advantage of. You've also got all these new restaurants and retailers going in Bellevue that weren't there before. So it's making it a much more livable city downtown. It's going to make it, you know, a little bit more walkable because you can just go shopping and then go out to dinner and work all right in that same area.
That has changed so much. I mean, when we moved here, there was nothing of any consequence across the
strawberry
street
fields,
from
right?
Bellevue Square. Yeah. So Amazon's 5-block tower project, the Spheres in Seattle, where exactly is it?
So I think a lot of people have seen the Amazon towers go up. It's in the area called the Denny Triangle, and it's essentially downtown Seattle. You see those new towers go up, and those are the Amazon towers, and then you have those giant spheres, which are architecturally very interesting to look at. I've already heard people say, oh, just go to the spheres and then take a right.
So they're already in the lexicon.
Absolutely. But what's interesting about that project is it's not even close to completion. Those two towers that you see, those are the first of 5. There's going to be another tower about the same size and then a couple of smaller ones. It's 5 city blocks that will be Amazon.
Is it work, residences, a blend? What is it? What are in those spheres?
Amazon people. Lots of them.
Lots and lots of Amazon people.
Yeah, it's going to be Amazon's headquarters.
Okay, very good. And the convention center expansion and its effect on the Hyatt Regency in Seattle.
Yeah, so the Hyatt Regency is while it's separate from the expansion, it's as as a result of the expansion that's happening there. It's a $1.6 billion expansion of the convention center, and what that's going to allow is so much more space for conventions. Some of the larger conventions that Seattle has not been able to get are now suddenly going to be able to come to the city, and of course those folks need places to stay when they're here. The Hyatt is going to provide both convention space and I think it's something like 1,200 rooms. New rooms.
That's a lot.
In that facility, and a big, huge ballroom. It's going to be this large luxury hotel. It's really going to be a game changer, I think, for the city. You're going to start seeing a lot more large conventions coming to town.
Are we doing anything about increasing parking, or will that stay the same while this goes on?
Oh, parking.
Oh, parking, I know. Well, now it'll be $150 to park.
Yeah, I think parking is going to still be an issue.
Right.
Even if we build it into some of these facilities, it's not going to be near enough for what we need.
Good. Well, light rail can't come fast enough for me. I'll be happy to use mass transit whenever I can. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Do you have a favorite one of these that you like? I'm sort of waiting to see what the spheres turn out to be.
The spheres are pretty incredible. If you haven't been over to check them out,
Go
you
look
should.
at it.
They're
Yeah.
really, really something.
Just ask anybody, because everybody here works at Amazon. We put the full project list on New Day's website, so you can take a look at that and see what you think, and we'll be back right after this.